And
Mommy,
yes.
I'm talking to YouTube channel.
Yes, I'm talking to the YouTube channel. Say hi to the YouTube channel.
Hi,
If I wrote you a symphony, just to say how much you mean to me, what would you do? If I told you you were beautiful, would you date me on the regular? Tell me, would you? Well, baby, I've been around the world, but I ain't seen myself another girl like you. This ring here represents my heart, but there's just one thing I need from you. Say I do, because
I'm here. Look at my big old booty. I'm here to discuss some things, come to y'all and talk to y'all and put some information out there. Mainly, the main thing that I'm gonna say is do your own research, especially for something that you want to do. Do your own research on it. Yes, you may know me, you may know the process that I'm going through, and I can tell you about my experience, but the only way that it's gonna work for you is if you do your own research yourself, because I know some that have already experienced this process, and I still done my own research because I didn't get the information from them. So here we go. Okay, by the title, you know what I'm doing. I have this big old mirror in front of me that can see everything that I'm doing, and y'all can see it firsthand, but you can also see what's behind me. So I'm actually gonna change my camera around because I don't like that. That's it. Or let me sit it this way in front of the mirror so that I can't see. Boom. Got it. All right. So we're gonna sit it right here. What you want? You don't know? Okay. So, starting with getting my insurance approval. I first went to my primary care, and I got tested to see if I was a pre-diabetic, because when I was pregnant with Rihanna, they told me with my glucose test, which is your sugar test, that my sugars was so high, they figured that I was either a diabetic beforehand. And
Mommy,
yes.
I'm talking to YouTube channel.
Yes, I'm talking to the YouTube channel. Say hi to the YouTube channel.
Hi, YouTube channel. Watching Little Einstein.
Okay. You say hi, YouTube? Say hi to YouTube, Riri.
You like Little Einsteins?
Comment down below if you like Little Einsteins. Tell them to comment down below if you like Little Einsteins.
Comment below.
Okay. So,
Little Einsteins.
comment down below if you like Little Einsteins. So I guess I might as well leave the camera on them too, because they're gonna indulge. But pick the 1 hour where you drink that medicine or that whatever, and you can't eat for an hour, then they have to draw blood. With Tiana, then I had to do a 3-hour one with Tiana as well. My stuff, it wasn't that high with Tiana, but it was high enough to where they had me stop eating red meats, stop, I don't know what else I had to stop doing, but I had to. With her, it wasn't so bad. With Rihanna, apparently they got detrimental because I had to prick my finger 3 times a day to test my sugar. I had to take metformin at night to level out my sugars overnight. So she brought out my health issue. Say hi. Say hi, YouTube. Okay. So she brought up my health issues. After I gave birth to her, After I gave birth to her in May, of course, I got myself together. And then I went to my primary care to see if they had any, or if they could test me for being a diabetic, because I've never had been tested for it before. And with my sugars being so high leading up to, I decided for them to test me. She told me that I wasn't a pre-diabetic and I wasn't a diabetic. And I was like, okay. So, but she did tell me, of course, my weight gain was high. My weight really picked up after I had Taylor, which is understandable. I've been having kids, so my weight picked up. Okay. So with that, I went and did research. One morning I was up to 3 o'clock in the morning, and I started the process on weight loss surgery. Looked at it, completed the seminar. The seminar is virtual, and I thought nothing of it. Just looked at the seminar. They actually gave me a call later on that day and asked me if I wanted to come in on the next Thursday. It was a Tuesday. They asked if I wanted to come in Thursday, and I was like, of course. So I went in for my consultation on October the 4th of last year, 2021. And they told me they accept my insurance. My insurance will approve it. My BMI was above 45. Okay, per your insurance. If your BMI, you have to speak to your insurance. If your BMI is above certain, you don't have to have an underlying condition. If your BMI is under a certain, you have to have a secondary underlying condition like diabetes, like high blood pressure. I don't know. My insurance didn't need that. So even though I was not tested and test positive for a diabetic, I still was okay with my insurance approving or following through with the process because my BMI is so high. Okay. So with that, she told me that I had to do 6 months of dietitian consecutively. I have to have an endoscopy. I call it an endoscopy because if you look at it, that's how it's pronounced. And it's an endoscopy and psych evaluation through behavioral analysis. Look, you just want to be on the camera so bad. Say hi. There you go. Say bye-bye. Okay, come on, lay down. So, I went October the 4th for my consultation. We set up another appointment October the 14th for my first dietitian appointment. They couldn't do it all on one day, which it was okay. So my first month of consultation is actually my first month of dietitian as well. So I went in for my consultation, then I went back in for my dietitian, and then that was considered a month. So I killed 2 months in 1 month. And I was okay with that. Now, they set up my second appointment at my dietitian visit because they have to be consecutive. And if you don't do it consecutive, you will have to start over. So if you get to month 5 and then you miss month 6, you have to start over. But due to COVID, 3 of my 6 visits were over the phone. And she's gone to sleep, y'all. 3 of my 6 visit was over the phone. My first visit was in person. My 3rd visit was in person. And my last visit was in person. Everything else was over the phone. Actually, my 3rd visit was supposed to be in person. And it wasn't. They called me and I had my appointment. Because I did my endoscopy, my 3rd visit, they said that they didn't need me to come in. They'll just talk to me over the phone about it. Because that's what mainly my 3rd visit was about. To discuss my endoscopy in person and what they came up with, what they saw and everything. So, being that they could talk to me over the phone about it, I actually didn't go in. They talked to me over the phone. So 4 out of my 6 visits was not in person. They were over the phone. Endoscopy was December the 8th. I had to take a COVID test. She's like sleep. I got there too, and they said that if I did it, my test results wouldn't be back in time. Like, it takes 2 days, which would have been the morning of my doctor's appointment. So I should have came that morning. And I was like, okay, well, my endoscopy is in 2 days. So I need my results back, like, tonight. And she was like, well, if you come back tomorrow morning between 9 and 12, we can have those results back that night. I don't know how they do it, but if it's between 1 and 5, they take a 2-day process. And if it's that morning for surgery, you get your results back later on the day. They are more rapid during the mornings than they are later on. January the 10th was my psych evaluation. My psych evaluation went great. That was over the phone. It was through MCV. They provide me someone that they use, or I could do it myself. But they were so booked out. So I actually, when I got my information of my consultation, the day of my consultation, they gave me a list of things. Everything was on there that I needed to do for it. I went to my primary care February the 4th to get clearance. And my doctor didn't say no. She was like, well, you already started the process. You didn't did everything. So if all you're waiting on is for me to do the clearance, then I'm just going to go ahead. She was like, because I can clearly see that you've tried this, you tried that, and it's not working for you. And if this, yeah. She didn't put up a fight. She didn't tell me no. She was like, you're in your 5th month of your dietitian out of 6. I'm not going to set you back. It's no need for me to set you back on it. You'd already completed 98% of your process. I told her I did the psych evaluation. I told her I did the endoscopy. And the only thing that I have left is my last dietitian appointment and my primary care. And she was like, oh, okay, that's fine. And submitted it. There was no problems with that. I do know some people have problems, but she didn't give me any problems. And I think majority of it was because I was at the end of my rope. And she was like, yeah, okay. Stop being nasty and go get you some tissue or get a wipe. Here's a wipe. Don't play with your snot. That's nasty. Here. Blow. Blow. Okay. need to get in the bath.
What?
So I did my last appointment March the 7th. And my second appointment was a Zoom appointment. It was a group Zoom appointment about the dietitian. It was starting talking about the vitamins, and it was more so along the lines of dietitian, like how to change, like changing your food choices, meaning like using brown rice instead of white rice, whole wheat bread instead of white bread, you know. But I had already changed those things while I was pregnant with Rihanna because of my health issues with her. So I've changed it. I cut out eating sugars. I cut out eating salty foods. I cut out eating fast foods. I cut out a whole lot of stuff while pregnant with her because I had to. So when it came to making this decision, I had already done the majority of the work. So my dietitian was like, okay, well, I can't ask you to this much stop eating sugars because I didn't eat them. And I didn't go back to it. Like, I still don't to this day. I don't eat cake. Usually cake would be my go-to. I don't eat cake. I don't eat a lot of candy. I don't. I really cut a lot of that stuff out because they scared me. They really did. I had 3 phones. They said my endoscopy was fine. I didn't show any signs of acid reflux. I didn't show any signs of heartburn. I didn't show any signs of having an issue with the anesthesia when they put me to sleep for that, because they do put you to sleep for your endoscopy. Endoscopy. I had someone to pick me up. I had someone to drop me off. The last one was in person, and that was more so along the lines of signing paperwork to say that I've done this, I've committed to this, and this is what I'm committing to let them know that I'm doing the vertical sleeve gastrectomy and not the bypass, because I did have a choice to do either or. If I had heartburn or acid reflux, then I would have to get the bypass, but I didn't. So, but they did say after the surgery that it may occur. I, my own self, made it an obligation for my own self because that's just, like I said, what I wanted to do in preparation for the surgery. I was going to start in March, but I waited till April because I reached out in March and they told me that it takes 21 days for the insurance to process. They haven't heard anything back. I was like, okay. So I called my insurance to see, because I got an email in the on my email. I have a patient portal, and it sent me an email request to do a preoperative questionnaire, and I was like, what is this? Because they ain't sent me nothing. It was for June the 3rd, and it had, you know, the gastric sleeve and a preoperative. So I was like, this says pre-op. I mean, did I get approved? Did I didn't get approved? I don't know, because I called them. They said they haven't heard anything back from my insurance. So I'm like, why am I filling out a preoperative questionnaire for June the 3rd? What is this? So they were like, well, call your insurance because we haven't heard anything. I was like, they ain't saying nothing but a word. So I actually called my insurance on April the 7th. And they are the ones who told me I was approved. They said they approved it March 31st. And that's probably why the insurance, the MCB haven't gotten anything, because they did just approve it. So I was like, well, it could take some time. But my insurance approved it. Congratulations, you were approved for it. And I was like, okay, thank you. So they're the ones who let me know first. which that was my only issue. Like, if I'm calling you as my surgeon care and everyone, and I'm asking you, you don't tell me to call my insurance. But I called my insurance, and my insurance said that they approved it. So that was my main thing. I didn't want to sit on the phone and be combative with you about was it approved or not. Just tell me yes or no. They told me to call my insurance. So I called my insurance. My insurance said they approved it, and I left it at that. Later on that day, literally about 3 o'clock, I get a patient portal, an email in my patient portal from the nurse saying, "Hey, Miss Terry, I'm going to call you tomorrow to confirm a surgery date." And I was like, okay, that's fine. You know, I emailed her back. I'm like, okay, that's fine. I'll be available anytime tomorrow. Let me know. This is my number. Y'all have my contact information. Call me. She called me at 3 o'clock. No. Yes. She called me at 3:15 and said, well, there's no need for me to wait till tomorrow. I mean, what's the difference between tomorrow and today? I was like, okay. She said, can you be available for May 27th? And I was like, yeah, I could have May 27th. And I was like, you know, she was like, okay, so you have to start your liquid diet. It's a bird. You have to start your liquid diet May 13th. Surgery will be May 27th. And we'll send you all this information. Next thing you have to do is a educational class for your pre-liquid diet. And also you have to do PACE. You have to take a COVID test. I didn't have to do weigh-ins. Well, you can clearly see I didn't have to do weigh-ins. I didn't have to get on the scale at home and send a picture to my doctor, to my nurse, or anything. I didn't have to do weigh-ins. I didn't have to come in for weigh-ins. They literally used my weight from my first appointment. That's it. My questionnaire, my check-in questionnaire was electronic. Everything was electronic. They mainly asked the questions like, have you traveled within the last 21 days? Have you been around anybody who tested positive for COVID? What's changed in your medical history? Have you been to the hospital for anything? Those was my main questions. A lot of them were... another thing that I had to do was to tell them what I ate for breakfast, what I drank for breakfast, what I ate for lunch, what I drank for lunch, what I ate for dinner, what I drank for dinner. Those was a part of my dietitian questions leading up. So we did talk about those things. I actually had a fairly easy process, and mainly it was because COVID, and I'm okay with that. I did go to my pre-dietitian class, my pre-liquid diet class on April the 21st. I actually, once I got the confirmation, and here you can use this. Once I got the confirmation from that I was confirmed and approved for weight loss surgery, I myself started my own liquid diet. I haven't been doing a full-blown liquid diet. I just been doing meal replacements every... Hold on, it's my son's. So I put my own self on a liquid diet, a pre-liquid diet, because...
Mommy, I built something special. I built a gift for you.
You made something special, a what?
I made something special for you.
You made something special for me? Let me see, show YouTube what it is. After Easter was my last complete meal. And, well, not complete meal, but my last day of eating for a full day. I supplement 2 protein shakes a day. Like for breakfast and lunch mainly. And then I eat dinner My son does the same thing. Taylor does the same thing. So far, we have lost 8 pounds since Easter. Basically, I've been trying which ones I like, because to just completely do a liquid diet, you would much rather drink the fluids that you like, the protein shakes that you like, that you have to do. And I know they said once you have your surgery, your taste buds are going to be different, and you're still going to be on a liquid diet afterwards. But for right now, after coming off of complete foods, like eating whatever you want, however you want, how much you want to liquid diet, it's hard. So I've started prior to, and just meal replacing 2 meals. I drink water. I drink Propel water, 0 sugar, Powerade. I don't drink coffee. I don't drink tea. I'm not a coffee or a tea drinker, so I don't have those.
You drink milkshake.
I do like milkshakes. Yeah. You so cute. So, mainly what I'm going to start doing, of course, I don't want to change our family vlog to my my sleeve or my information about that. I'm going to provide the best information I can. I'm going to show my process. But what I am going to do is incorporate the children as always. So I'm going to show my daily meals as to how I eat, as well as how I cook for them, because they're home with me majority of the time, as well as the other 2 that's at school, Mariah and Taylor. So I'm going to speak of that. My exercise routine, I'm going to talk about all of that and show you all the process with them, and not just me by myself, because it's a family channel. It's a family channel with me and my 4 things. So that's another reason why I re-recorded my video, because I wanted them in there to show you all what I go through. And I'm about to take on this big journey, and I still have to be a mom in the process, right? See, we still have to be a mom in the process. So I'm gonna bring along my children, and I always tell Taylor I'm doing this for him, because you all know he's a heavyset guy, and I have to get him healthy too. Ooh, she got a limp paw. I have to get him healthy. So I'm starting over me. You better not put that in your mouth. Get it out your mouth. I'm starting over me. I'm restarting over me. I'm relearning how to live, how to eat, so that I can teach him and Mariah and Tiana and Rihanna on how to live the right way this time, because I messed this one up. Right? Do you have any encouraging words for mommy? Do you know what encouraging means? Okay, now she acts like she can't hear me. And I know she can. Hello? Tiana? Rihanna? Yeah. So that's where we are. And if she don't have any encouraging words for me, do y'all have any encouraging words for me? If so, comment that down below. But we will be catching back with y'all. I stopped my liquid diet on Friday. It is Tuesday. Yesterday, I was not feeling good. Nobody in the house was feeling good. It still sound congested or whatever have you in my voice, but her nose is still running. Brianna is the only one that's not really been affected by anything, but none of us was feeling good. The kids ain't go to school. The kids ain't go to school.
Bye, you.
Say bye-bye.